Hey everybody, welcome back to War Torn Creative. This is our post-game show for the 1,500-point game of Tau versus Tyranids, and we did an ITC mission. If you guys haven't watched the game, actually check it out in the description below. But now we're just going to get right into it. Gavin, what did you think of your Tyranids?
I mean, I liked them. I need to do some altering of my list. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. I think the Maw, which is the list this turns into at 2,000 and 2,500 points, I think that's going to change a little. But this is going to change a lot. The big bugs for big boys, and we'll leave the subtitle alone. For people who watch the first
pregame,
video, the pregame, you get the knowledge of that if you watch pregame.
So, what would you think about the match, the ITC?
I'm not. I mentioned this during the match, but I'm not a huge fan of ITC. I'm a more narrative guy in general. I do like Maelstrom match play, and I actually even like some Eternal War match play. I usually don't like Eternal War with my Tyranids, unless it's the Scouring, because I love having lots of objectives, moving around between them. That kind of stuff is a lot of fun for me, especially with this is a relatively mobile, kind of like popping up,
it's
dropping
very
down kind of deal. Especially with that Crone. The Crone has always been kind of the underdog that I've always loved. A lot of people ignored the Crone and Harpy model. I think the Harpy is supposed to be really good, but they're pretty points heavy, like 250 plus, depending on the weapons they have. But they do have some pretty nasty weapons they're toting. Their mobility is very similar to the Crone. She's got decent shooting and decent close combat. I can't complain about that, honestly. Her mobility is where the king's at.
On point.
This has been the first game I've ever played where the Malanthrope died.
Yeah, actually, turn one too.
Yeah.
As well. Like, to be fair, and that was really interesting. And that was also just kind of part in placement and everything because he was the closest.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could have knowing how much he put down, I could have organized myself so that he couldn't put himself anywhere good within 9 inches, because that's usually what a lot of people do when they know they're going to be dropped around by a fire base. I just wanted to split my stuff up so he had to pick one or the other, and I split it up so I knew he had to pick the Malanthrope, which is why these guys had like a no drop zone in a 9-inch bubble around them. But yeah, I think the Swarm Lord, when I was not rolling crap, because remember there was a few where I just rolled a lot of ones on him. Yep. But I still, he's really cool. I really like him. His double movement thing's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
I think I can build better around that, honestly. The list, right now, it's just kind of like, you drop it on him, then you drop it on him, then you drop it on him. So he's just like sprinting across the table, shish kebabbing everyone. But
I imagine having like a unit of Carnifexes and just being like,
oh yeah, 3-man.
Yeah.
But that's me, Brad. What do you think? How do you like your game type and the list?
I mean, I like the ITC game type a lot. I don't really know how to elaborate why, but I like it because, I mean, as you can see, the game completely turned around from, 2 turns in like way my favor into way your favor.
I always do love those kind of games. I will give this game type.
And I think it's cool because it's like there's multiple things that you're accomplishing. You're accomplishing the turn to turn, and then you're accomplishing the end game at the same time. So I think it's cool how you have that stuff, and then you have the bonus points as well. I made a couple really big mistakes that I could have easily won, and I just didn't think it through 100%. But I love my list. I think that there's some slight changes I need to make. Like I think that
1,000 more drones, a lot more commanders.
I mean, moving forward, I want to get rid of my Fire Warriors. I want Crude instead. Then maybe get rid of the Crisis Suits and run all commanders.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I can just chime in.
It's literally just commanders and Crudes.
Just dump anything that isn't commanders or drones and just run that.
That's gross, honestly.
Because that was really gross.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
And the reason
you need the crew, you need to break your crew up into smaller groups, I'd say, because as nice as it was holding it, you do need more units so you can drop more units, right? Because 50% has to be on the table.
Yeah, if your intention was to play like hyper competitively, and just bring like a big sledgehammer to your problems, that would be the way to do it, and just bring min squads of Kroot.
Which is 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 10
for like what, 60 points, right?
Yeah. So I mean, if I ran I could pretty much run for 40 or 50 crew and be perfectly fine. But then I also want to keep in, and I'm thinking like even when it goes up to the 2,000 points, no Riptide. I think that I should be taking commanders instead of the
I
Riptides.
still feel there's some merit to
I don't.
for the big suits.
For the stuff that I've played it, I don't like it with my play style.
I honestly, I mean, I haven't played in 8th edition with Riptide, but like, if it was just commanders and drones and maybe some bodyguards in Kroot, like essentially min-maxing that particular playstyle, I mean, that's disgusting.
It's just play
It'd be
style,
scary.
right? It depends if you want to sit back, if you want to be aggressive. I like to play aggressive. I like to chase people down and shoot everything.
But then that list isn't going to do well against specific types of lists.
Yeah.
I mean, drones in general being 8 points is just gross, but
Yeah, and then like I want to keep my ghost and my stealth because the reason, unfortunately, with this how I had the list, I couldn't infiltrate them. But it is really good in this game type because I can infiltrate them and just sit them on an objective point that's hidden somewhere and not move them all game.
right.
And they could just play that.
That
card
ghost
as
was
well.
beefy. That's why I went after him right off the bat. That fusion cannon was gross. I just, every time, I knew it was going to be bad, so I had to take it out as soon as possible. So that's kind of what ended up going
Yeah,
down.
but I mean, I think it's just little tweaks. I'm gonna end up going to this tournament with pretty much this list with my Riptide and everything, just because I don't have the stuff to change
Is
it
it
immediately.
2,000 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just
So-
realized 10 of the 12 Swarm Lord wounds were done via a D6 fusion blast.
Yeah.
Both 5 damage
Yep.
both times. Ooh, swarmy.
It's pretty good.
Those
It takes the
D6
chunks.
damage there are
Yeah.
pretty nasty.
That's all I got.
Okay, well, cool. I hope you guys really enjoyed playing the match.
Oh, it was a fun
I enjoyed
match.
watching it and kind of like being the ref for it. And I hope you guys really enjoyed watching it. And if you really enjoyed it, I hope you can like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think of the match and our pregame discussion. What you think about Brad's list, especially since he's got to go to the ITC
Yeah.
match on the 29th.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys next time with War Torn Creative's Battle Reports.